Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Smashing English. Before we start this video, be sure to subscribe because we make new videos all the time and I don't want you to miss any. So with that said, let's get on with the video. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I am an English teacher. I've taught around 3,500 English lessons online. The main issue I come across is people telling me, I feel like I'm not improving. I feel stuck. I feel like I've hit a level and that is where I will always be. I can't get any better. So let me give you some help if you're feeling a little bit like this. This is why you are not improving your English. Okay, reason number one. I love books. I think books are brilliant. Reading books are a fabulous way of improving your vocabulary. You can learn grammar from books. Fabulous. However, if you are just reading and writing, you will not find the right level of speaking improvement that you want to see. If you want to walk into a coffee shop and order something in English like a native, you won't be able to do that if you are just reading books. You need to be speaking. And one of the cheapest, easiest exercises you can do is every day make a little vlog for yourself. Vlog. A video blog. Vlog. Record yourself telling a story of what's happened to you today, or maybe you are going to record yourself in your kitchen and it only needs to be maybe 30 seconds and you say, hello, today I'm in my kitchen. As you can see, I'm cooking. Just something where you are speaking to camera. And the reason why I say record it is you can go back, watch it, listen out for any mistakes, because most of the time when we listen back, we can hear mistakes that we don't realize we are making when we say them. Okay, reason number two why your English isn't improving. You've lost motivation. You are simply learning English for the sake of learning English. And that is a very tricky place to be if you want to keep motivation. So I suggest setting a goal. You can even sign up for it. Set a goal of taking an English test, like the Cambridge English test or an IELTS test, IELTS. If you set a date and you book that test, you are going to find this sense of motivation because you know in 6 months' time, I've got that test. I've paid for that test. I need to take it, so I better practice because I want to get a good result. Putting pressure on yourself is the best way to get motivation, especially if it's pressure that you've created yourself. You know, if you don't need to take an English test, then it's quite a nice pressure because you've decided to, because you want to for yourself. It's not like, if I don't pass this, bad things will happen, but it's a good level of pressure. So book an English test for 6 months in the future. Trust me. Okay, reason number three, you're not speaking to a native. Now this is harder than it sounds, obviously. If you're living in a country with not a lot of native English speakers, that's quite hard to do. But the internet is your friend. There are websites like italki, Cambly, and many others. I'll link some down below. It feels really scary the first time because you're talking online with someone who is a native speaker and it's very nerve-wracking, but it is the best thing you could possibly do. Again, there's that pressure that you have. Suddenly you're face to face with a native speaker and you have to find conversation. That pressure does wonders for your improvement, I promise. Okay, reason number four, you're not consuming media in your target language. If you're saying to me, I feel like I'm not improving with my English, I feel stuck, but then you also tell me that you don't listen to any English-speaking podcasts, any English-speaking TV shows, anything, then I don't know what to tell you. This is a must for your listening practice and for your vocabulary. You need to have at least one TV show that you regularly watch that is in English, or one podcast that you regularly listen to that is in English. It's just a must. Even TikTok, you can set the languages on your TikTok to I understand English. I'm sure you can do that. And then you will get English speaking content. And this is fun. This is an easy one. You just get to watch funny things. So find something that you really enjoy, but watch it in English. Okay, reason number 5. You are in your vocabulary comfort zone. Your vocabulary comfort zone is a lovely little place where you can use the words that you are comfortable with. I have it with French. When I speak French, I always use the word bizarre for everything. I'm like, oh, c'est bizarre, c'est bizarre. That's it, because it's my comfort word. I know that that will work, you know, but I need to push myself. I need to expand that vocabulary. So here's an exercise you can do to stretch your comfort zone. Find a video on YouTube. Silent movies are really good and Mr. Bean videos are really good. I want you to watch 30 seconds. Then I want you to say out loud what you just saw in detail. What did you just see happen? Then I want you to say it again. I want you to go back, tell me those same 30 seconds, what did you see, but use completely different words, different sentences. Then do it again. I want 3 times of you saying the same 30 seconds of video, describing what happened, but in different ways. Ideally, if you can record yourself doing it, that's even better. Then keep going, the next 30 seconds. Okay, watch it, enjoy. What happened there? Say it once, say it twice, say it 3 times. If you start to struggle and you're really thinking, oh, I can't think of any other words I can say here, that's when you get a thesaurus out. So thesauruses are not always reliable. Sometimes they might give you a word that isn't great in that context, but it's good to try. And the internet, like I said, is your friend. Okay, this is a really good exercise just to stretch that comfort zone. Reason number 6, and I'm going to take you straight to Pride Rock for this one. I think a big reason why a lot of English students find themselves not improving is because they have too much pride. And I get it. If you're speaking English at a really good level and your English teacher says to you, okay, I think we should revise the past tense, you might feel a little, oh, but I know the past tense. I'm a good English speaker. And that's true, but grammar will always be something that you need to keep practicing, and sometimes you might have to go right back to the basics because we develop habits. So it's really hard to get rid of that habit. So sometimes you might have to go all the way back and go back to the grammar and look at it with new eyes. Because if you're a bit older, if it's been 10 years since you've done grammar, you might see it in a different way. So don't have pride. Pride kills language development because you're too busy thinking about, oh, but I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to sound like my level is lower. You need to make those mistakes. You need to just be as open as a child learning a language, and that is the best way to develop. Okay, reason number 7 why I think you're not improving. You're not having fun. You're treating learning English as this homework, this school assessment thing where you've got a teacher who's going to, you know, I don't know, hit you with a stick. It's not fun. If you are just reading grammar exercises and doing nothing else, oh my goodness, who wants to do that? Whereas if you're using video resources, you're using English speaking media, you're speaking to a teacher that you really connect with and you have so much fun and you laugh, it doesn't feel like work and it motivates you to do it. And of course, books and reading help, but you will learn just as much going for a walk outside and maybe filming all of it. Come home, watch the video, and you're going to narrate everything. You know, you might say, okay, so here I'm walking to the left and I see a roundabout. That, you'll learn just as much. Have fun, have fun. Woo woo. But listen, I am a language learner myself. I understand how it feels. I get it. There are just walls that we hit sometimes and we feel as though I'm never going to get any better. But I read somewhere from the author Paul Noble, he says, learning a language is a bit like keeping a fire going. You have to keep adding wood to it. If you leave it alone, it will get smaller and eventually go out. So you have to keep adding to it. And also language development is a little bit like growing older. Think of the difference between a newborn baby and an 18-year-old. It's massive. You see those developments like, whoa! And that's like the beginning of language learning. You see these huge improvements because you're starting from nothing and then you learn the past tense, the future tense. It's like it grows so big. Whereas when you're aged 20, The aging between 20 to 40 isn't that crazy. You know, it's not as obvious as from a baby to a 20-year-old, for example. So the more advanced you get with your English, the progress is going to seem so much smaller and it will feel like you're stuck. Like, I'm not making progress, I'm not getting any better, but you are. It's just way less obvious because you're not learning these huge, big leaps and bounds. So that's why you've got to unlock the language, make it less stiff, make it fun, experiment, go out of your comfort zone. That is how you beat the block. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Be sure to give this video a like. And if you want an online one-to-one English lesson with me or my partner, the link for that is down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta!